All right, we are live, Glenn.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, everyone. We are
Hi.
here. We are here today with Glenn van. It's actually really complicated name. Croonenborch, is it right?
Croonenborch, yes, indeed. It's,
All right. So Glenn is a Belgian guy, and he's the founder of Hypervault, a tool for teams to manage their passwords. And he is so kind that he actually agreed on our interview today in SaaS interview series in PitchGround. And if you're joining right now, feel free to send us hi down in the comments. And if you have any questions, like during the interview, I'm still checking the answers there. I'm still checking the comments, so feel free to shoot a question there, and we will answer it during the interview. And it's a actually honor to interview Glenn right now, because it's a first video interview of him in his life. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes. really nervous. No, it's okay. It's okay.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be. I mean, you have a great product. You don't have to be nervous. And anyway, so Glenn, why don't you start by introducing yourself a little, where you come from, like what is your story? I'm pretty eager to hear it.
Okay. So yeah, we are a small team from Belgium. We have an agency background. We have three founders of Hypervault have an agency background where we have a lot of clients to manage. So we experience a lot of problems with passwords and everything. So that's why we decided to build Hypervault. Our team is 5 people in total, 2 developers and one Thierry, Steven, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all kind of the same age, so it's really easy to communicate, and we already have a lot of experience in.
I think it's not rude. We are both men. Like, how old are you?
Turning 36 in about 2 weeks.
And you said that you are 2 founders. And before we jump about like what are your responsibilities and so on, tell me about how did you guys meet in the first place? How did you meet your co-founder, and why did you decide to actually start working together?
Well, actually, it's way back. It's about Steven and I met. Yeah, about 15 years ago already, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he had an idea. It was a friend. It was a personal friend. He was also my witness at my wedding.
Oh, awesome!
So, he's kind of a best friend. And one day he came to me and he said, "Well, Glenn, I have a really good idea. Why don't we build a tool for the HR industry, and we completely change the world?" And I was like, wow, yeah, let's do it. Let's jump into it. That was in 2014 that we started the company.
And before you continue, it was your first project, like this HR thing that will change the world. You've been working together.
Yeah, we did some events like comedy gigs. But yeah, it was really, we were students and working out. So yeah, we were both independent or working freelance, and we also had a side job. So
okay.
Started rolling out, and at the time that he came to me full time on my own business. I had an agency, and yes, since he came to me, he said it. I was really amazed about the idea, and it was a great idea. I can tell you.
Okay, tell me what it was about.
Well, we had a problem in Belgium that there are a lot of HR agencies, and it's when you're searching for a job in Belgium, it's really difficult to find the proper match. So you also need to send your resume to all the agencies, for example. But the agencies themselves don't talk to each other. So we thought we bring it all in one platform where they can match everything. The problem was that we had no idea who our target audience was. We don't know how to communicate with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was it was really difficult to market the application. It was called Career Box.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to change it to Career World. Then we changed to Jobcaster. So we tried a lot of things.
So you kept changing the names instead of trying to find the customer, right?
The proposition, the USP was also a bit changed during until we got out of money. It was really sad because we had to abandon the project because we didn't have enough budget left. It costed 3 years. We had a complete tool with a lot of features. No one asked for it. So it was, it was really a bad experience at that moment, but it learned us a ton.
Yeah, I can say a lot of founders do this mistake that they are creating something that they think that it's super cool, but like the market and actually the customers don't share their vision. No. So it's a quite difficult to market them. All right, so it was your first product with your first project, first business you started with your co-founder. It was Career Box. All right, and it basically failed that you ran out of money. Like, at which point did you decide that okay, this didn't work out? Like, let's try something else. What happened between?
Well, it goes really slowly. So you're very motivated in the beginning. You start working, you start the development, you start the marketing. You put some money in Facebook ads. You hope they get to someone. You build LinkedIn pages. You name it. And at the end, after 3 years, I think we both couldn't put the energy anymore in it. Steven also had a very busy job. The agency we were creating at the same time was also getting more and more clients.
Okay.
So we were really, the project didn't feel good anymore. So that's when we decided to put it on hold for a couple of months. That was January. That's difficult month to speak. January 2017, I think.
Okay.
So it's almost 3 years that we were in the project with no revenue.
Yeah. All right. So 3 years building something that actually didn't work out in the end. Before we continue, Glenn, actually a lot of people are joining. I would like to repeat who are you, where you come from. So Glenn is a co-founder of Hypervault, which is a tool for businesses to manage their passwords within the team and with their clients as well. And he built his first product 3 years ago. It didn't work out, and right now we want to talk about how did he get the idea to build a Hypervault in the first place. So tell me about it. Like, how did you get the idea to build it?
Well, I was talking with co-founder Thierry. He was someone I knew when I got out of college, and we stick together for since 2003. And he was also running an agency, and he experienced the same problem that we were getting. So we grew, our agency grew, meaning that we had to manage between 150 and 200 clients, all the passwords, FTPs, and so on. And our team was growing bigger and bigger. And we had the problem that they would always come to us. Yeah, what's the password again? I lost it. Clients that didn't know how to log in, and we were really sick of the question. So we started looking for a solution, but none of it felt like it was working quite good enough. So that's when we started to validate the idea. We knew we needed it for ourselves, And yeah, we thought, yeah, if we build it, maybe someone else is interested in it too. So I think somewhere in November 2017,
Okay.
that was the first time that we put a landing page up called Get Vault app. I don't know how I could even think of that name. Sounds sucky.
Can you repeat it again, please? What was the name?
Get Vault app. So Vault, like.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's forget quickly. So we set up a landing page and launched it on beta list. And within a week, we had around 100 subscribers to our mailing list. So we knew we were into something. And yeah, we just let it pass a couple of months. And in, I think, March 2018, we started developing the first prototype. And the first version for us in production was in May.
All right, let's take a step back a little. Tell me more about your idea validation, because you said that you launched on beta list. Was it actually everything you did to validate your idea before you start spending money on development and putting your time in?
Yeah, because we all since we're in the agency business, we have a lot of connections in there too. Would say we proposed our offer, talked about the idea, and they said they were needing that a tool like that too. So that was one of the steps. The second step was joining or targeting beta list to see if we can get likewise people, minded people. So for us, this was enough to build the MVP because we needed the product very urgently for ourselves. So we were not waiting for more validation. We just
I get it. So basically, there's one big difference between your first product, which failed, and this product. Like the first product was only about I think it's cool, and this was actually scratching your own problem or trying to fix your own problem. So it wasn't something which was coming from this is cool, we should build it. It was something, oh my god, this is stupid, let's repair it. And that's the main difference. That's interesting. All right, so you are basically two founders now. You have your idea validated.
Three founders.
Three founders. Okay. You are the CTO guy.
Yeah, I do a bit of marketing, but most of the time I do the technical stuff and the talking with the developers. Yes, correct.
Awesome. Before we continue, we have another. We have the first question here from Steven. Just curious about how many leads did you acquire for the CareerBox project? 3 years without a beta release seems unusual by San Francisco startup standards. What was the hang-up? First part is how many leads did you generate for CareerBox projects, and why did it took so long? Why 3 years?
Okay, I think one of the problems we had was we didn't know how to talk to our leads. So that was one of the main mistakes we had. We didn't investigate enough in the target market. We had around, it's difficult because it's already a long time ago, but I think we had 25 to 50 leads. We had one subscription. And from that one subscription, they turned off after 3 months because they changed their vision and they didn't need CareerBox anymore.
Okay.
So it was as we were building our CareerBox was lower in ranking for our attention. Benefit more. We need to pay bills. I have a wife. I have 2 kids. Steven also. So it's we need to pay our bills. And when you see that a project is flopping, or it's not going the way you want it, you need to make a shift. So we focused less and less on CareerBox. and more on the agencies, and the agencies started to boost, and books started. Yeah, so unfortunately,
okay.
unfortunately, that's how it went. So yeah, I think about 25 to 50 leads we had, and burned a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. So what was the hang up? It's actually the third. No, I mean the second part of the question. Why did it take so long? Was it because like you didn't know how to position the product, or you didn't know how to sell, or you were actually creating something that no one needs?
Yeah. Well, all those things plus the time. Yeah. In the beginning, we were really motivated, but we hired an external party to do the development, which cost us also additional costs. The project got around 1/3 more expensive than we originally thought, which caused that we run out of money faster.
Okay.
Yeah, I think all the traditional errors you hear in failed startups, well, CareerBox is can be set as standards for every.
Yeah, I actually heard that if you work with someone from the outside to work on the development, it's actually really difficult to keep up with the costs and with the time, because as a startup you need to change things really quickly, and it's just not possible with external agency which is another project, and it's really expensive. So it's really good thing that you actually are 5 people at this point, and if I understand correctly, you already have your in-house developers at Hypervault, is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're 3 founders and you have developers on board. About hiring, because a lot of people actually run their businesses as well, and this is the question I like to ask. How do you decide who is the good candidate for your team?
Honestly, I never did any hiring.
Okay.
No, because it all glues together. If in the past, so the agency got better. We got internal developers who could manage it, and those initial developers who were in the agency are also drawn into the development of Hypervault. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's still our initial team from 4 years ago, who started in the agency, and we put them on board to create Hypervault.
That's amazing. All right. So
also, yeah, hiring. Okay. I don't think that the coming months we will do any hires, because we have marketing in-house, we have development in-house, finance we have in-house. So yeah, also legal is also also in-house. So yeah, it's quite easy for us. It's more easy for us now to start a product and see where it goes than we did 4 or 5 years ago.
So you already have like the background skills, people from the agency, which is running pretty well, like simultaneously on the side, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk more about Hypervault. Like as we already mentioned, it's a tool for people who want to manage their passwords with clients and within the teams. What is the current stage of the product at this moment?
We're at the final stage of our MVP, I believe. It's comfortable to say that we are already a final product, because we're not. We're missing some features. We're constantly improving it and adding new features. So, but we're final in the MVP stage. So it's the last months, I think, within after summer holidays, I believe we have a product that we can market very good.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
all right. Like, did you actually learn from your first mistake, not knowing your customers, while building Hypervault? So tell me, who are your like perfect dream customers for Hypervault?
Well, agencies, agencies
Okay.
and teams. We don't think of Hypervault. It's a security app, of course, but we think ourselves more as a productivity app, who make sure that the working between teams is better. It's easier to manage, and everyone knows where their data is stored. I think that's one of the most crucial things of Hypervault, that you know exactly who has which information or access to certain information, because you share a password with someone over Facebook and you don't know what's happening, or you put it in Google Sheets. Google Sheets gets
you don't know on Facebook if Zach is watching, right?
Yeah, correct. So never share passwords over Facebook. Use Hypervault.
I think this is actually a good topic, like, because you live in this environment of passwords and so on. What are the best practices to actually share the password, or of course Hypervault? But is there anything else, like, for people who share their passwords? Like, what are the best practices to don't get hacked, or
Well, don't use mail. Facebook as a social media. Avoid posting passwords to social media. One of the things I highly don't suggest is that you put passwords into any sort of cloud application. Tool. For example, passwords that you know that can ruin your life. Banking. So, for example, what I mean is that when you put those passwords into a manager and they get hacked, or in Google Sheets, and someone gets access to your Google Sheet, they will get your banking information, or what do you have to now? Bitcoin addresses and stuff like that. So when you put that in the cloud, there's always a risk. If you breaches of all the tools, I think you have to be really certain that that your data is safe. So I believe that when you put in websites, login information, FTP, that sort of data into a password manager, it's safe. It's safe to use, but never ever put banking information or personal information about yourself into a cloud.
So you would basically store it in some piece of paper.
Correct. The notebook is still
unhackable.
Don't get it stolen. That's very
Paper is still unhackable. Nobody figured it out how to hack the
paper.
Correct. All right. Thanks for this awesome lesson on how to store passwords. It's really useful. Anyway, so you are in the MVP stage, and you said that you will be launching. Another good topic we like to cover here. What is your go-to-market strategy? Will you be using paid advertising, or will you be using organic, or combination of both? What is your approach on this topic?
Well, it's really difficult at the moment. I think it will be a combination of content marketing and paid
advertising.
Advertising, yes. So yeah, to who has a team and needs to manage passwords, we need to get in front of them. So that's one of the main things that we need to find out, how we can get to them at the cheapest price possible. Because we don't have a very expensive product, so we have to keep costs all under control. We're bootstrapped, so we're paying the development from Hypervault ourselves. We had some funds in the beginning, but they were not enough to cover the complete development. So that's why every penny that we get into Hypervault, we turn it 5 times before we decide to spend it.
So you're saying that you're bootstrapping, which is awesome thing. At which point you would consider actually inviting investor on board?
we already had some questions from investors if we were interested, but we held off that boat because it didn't feel confident. We didn't feel confident enough to start an investing round. Because we didn't have at that time we didn't have a clear vision of who our target audience was. We were still developing the tool, and it was really difficult to commit some full time, as you don't know if it's going to succeed or not. So we're profile at the moment. We're also not doing a lot of marketing at the moment. We're spending every dollar that we get, we're spending it in development just to get tools as we can get it. And when it's at its best, we're already making the steps, of course, to promote it. But it's we're still not quite confident on how to get the tool out, or I think there is not one channel that will give all the growth. So I think we need to spread it, but that needs to be really considered in which direction we are shifting.
That's interesting. Because when I had interview with CEO of Poptin, like he's with Tomer, his name is Tomer Aharon, and his main lesson was that a lot of startups, SaaS startups who are starting out, make the mistake that they focus only on paid advertising and they really don't care about the organic and about the SEO and so on, even though it's still like really, really powerful. I'm actually glad that you want to do the combination. And we have a question here again from Steven. Hey, Steven, thanks a lot for being that active in the chat. I really appreciate it. Anyway, did you consider working with a group like PitchGround to gather feedback on your product as it was built out that could create pre-launch buzz and leverage crowdsourced insight in likely use cases? Do you understand the question?
Yes, that's a really good question because we did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I told you that the first version launched in May last year. Then we had the summer. It was our internal version. We use it to store passwords in it and use it ourselves.
Okay.
And we launched. And at this time we were approached by I think it was Enron from another lifetime deal group from MarTechWise. And in September, we did the first lifetime deal. We really some people don't understand why we did it, but we kept the amount of licenses that were put for sale really low because the people who wanted to buy our product, they needed to be also very committed to helping us creating the product.
Okay.
So we only did 50 licenses. They were sold out in 27 hours, which was crazy. We didn't expect that. And we got our first paying users who use the product and give us really valuable feedback. Still now, they are in our community, Facebook community. And yeah, they post really all the time features or things they found that are not that good. So and that was September last year. We did another lifetime deal on Black Friday. It was kind of a mistake because there are a lot of deals on Black Friday. But we got around 30 extra licenses. And so we needed one more final push of capital, of funds. So we decided to launch our own lifetime deal from February to March somewhere this year. And it's the last lifetime deal that we ever did because we are growing steadily at 10 to 20% each month at the moment. So that's good. Of free users, of course. We also have paying users, but our user base grows 10-20%.
All right. So you already did some lifetime deals, and like, what were the main benefits of these? Why did you actually decide to do them? Of course, there's the financial, and there's that you're actually getting the feedback and so on. Is there anything else? Like, why did you decide to do it?
No, actually, it was the feedback that the funds. It's cool to have some funds from the lifetime deals, but it was not our main purpose. The main purpose was to see if people would pay for
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, and once they pay, are they committed to keep on spending time into the app? So for us, that was most of the most important thing.
Perfect. All right, we have a question here from David Hobley. How does this compete / compare to Dashlane?
Okay, great question, and we see we see this question passing a lot. I think Dashlane and LastPass and 1Password, they're great tools. I was a LastPass user myself. Thierry is also a Dashlane user, and it's great, but it's good for personal use, for your own computer when you're storing your own passwords, or and it's only websites. So our tool is mainly focused on teams and getting as much team power into the tool, which is a Dashlane or LastPass is also, they also have team functions, but it's not
their main focus.
It's not their main focus. And we also have the difference that we're not only are able to store websites, but we're also FTPs, APIs, software licenses. So we have a bunch of categories that we offer on top of the normal online. So I think that's one of the main differentiators for us.
All right. So your main differentiator is basically that your niche is completely B2B segment agencies.
Correct.
Perfect. David is adding that they're expensive for team function.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think it's around $6 or euros per month. So yeah.
Per user.
I think so. Yes.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. Yeah.
Anyway, one interesting thing you said is that you are actually building a community about your product, around your product. Is it right?
Correct. Yeah.
And this community. Oh, okay. Go on.
No. Please do.
I want to ask you, like, what's the purpose of this community? Because you said they are giving you like the features, ideas, and so on. Is there anything else? Like, why did you decide to build a community about Hypervault?
We saw the value of a community through the lifetime deal groups we saw on Facebook, and we were also in quite some Facebook groups ourselves. So we really saw the benefit of getting our own, and it's a great way to interact with your customer in a personal way, instead of just sending messages about a product feature or anything else. No, when we use a community, we can hear what they need directly. Our communication is very open. When they have a problem or they notice something, or they have a bright idea, they can come directly to us, talk about it, and we see if we can implement it if more users are having the same problem or need. So that's openness is one of our biggest strategies we're focusing on.
Yeah, that's great, because me personally, I want to connect with the founders and with the support team and on Facebook, because I just want to see their face. I just want to see someone who I'm talking, who are taking my money for their services, right? And it's a really good thing to do. Anyway, I think it's almost time to wrap it up. And I have one last question. Probably I will have more questions after you will answer this, but one last question, what is written here on my notes. If you'd be starting out again, what would you do different from the start?
Well, Hypervault is already quite different than the first product we launched.
Okay.
But we have set up a clear path that we need to follow. And it's 7 points that we stick by all the time. First, it's ask. Second, it's listen. Very important. The third one is think and don't rush, because rushing into it will give you a lot of mistakes. Create, deliver, analyze, and start all over. So it's a complete cycle, and every time we launch something, it's always in this flow. So if we stick with that, I know we launched almost a year ago. Wow. But since the launch, we only use these steps to proceed with Hypervault, and since then it has nothing unforeseen that came.
Okay, thanks a lot. And as I said, it's my last question, but we have a question from Steven again.
Okay.
And the question is, if you hired some security expert while you were building this, are you building this? If you hire someone who will handle the security.
So we have a third party at the moment, because our developers, they are great at coding and at some level of security, but security is really a broad topic. So we hired already other parties, third parties, who would inform us about the way to go, how to secure things, and also it's very important for us that we do some checkups along the way, that we don't miss anything. But you can't have everything in house. But security is really it's a niche topic, I believe, and it's extremely difficult at some level. So we use third parties to guide us on this.
Perfect. I see we have no more questions in a chat. David, no, we actually didn't do LTD on this, but right now Glenn will give you his 90-second pitch, where maybe he will offer you something. I don't know. So Glenn, I'm ready. I'm ready when you are ready.
Okay.
and I will turn on my stopwatch. 1 second.
Okay, 90 seconds.
90 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, okay, already two in.
2 seconds.
Hypervault is a password manager for teams, where you can not only store passwords for your websites, but also other categories like APIs, software licenses, servers, you name it. And there will be a lot of categories added in the coming months. So that was my pitch. So it's 23 seconds. That's great.
That's it?
That's it, because it's just that. Hypervault is a password manager for teams, and it's nothing more than that. I don't know if it's in the pitch, but I'm happy to all the listeners of PitchGround. We're happy to give a 10% recurring discount with a coupon PitchGround to anyone who subscribes.
Perfect.
I will give you all the details so you can put it into the Facebook group afterwards, so they can.
That's amazing. Thank you. All right. It was a really fast page, by the way. Thank you for it. It was just 40 seconds, I guess.
Yeah. We don't want to complicate things. It's really straightforward, and it is what it is. So.
All right. Thank you so much, Glenn, and thank you so much for the discount that you are offering to PitchGrounders who are watching. And I would like to ask you, please, after we end this call, check the comment section, because there are some questions I didn't ask in the interview because they were maybe too technical. But I'm pretty sure that you, as a tech guy, will be more than qualified to answer it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. It was a great interview. I really enjoyed it. And if is there anything you'd like to say to our community, feel free to do it now, or just connect with them on Facebook.
Yeah, I got already a lot of friendship requests I saw. So
all right. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. So no, answering the questions from anyone.
Perfect. All right. So feel free to stay active in the community, and thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.